Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Today's topic is surviving a toxic mother. Surviving a toxic mother. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all of the new viewers, all of the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, those of you who are new to the channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So at the end of the video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions, and I will either answer them privately through the email, or I'll share them online with the collective, and it can be your decision. Now let's dive into the message today. Surviving a toxic mother. I did pull a video, and we have a letter. Let's watch this video. I'm going to read the letter, and we'll talk about this issue. Here we go.
This may be uncomfortable for some, but nonetheless very truthful and honest in the lives of little girls who experience toxicity from mothers who only gave what they thought was right. And time after time, I found that these mothers experienced traumatic episodes which were silenced in their youth, and with a cycle of toxic parenting, thus the way these mothers showed up to these little girls. The backhanded comments, the negative responses, the constant ridicule dressed up in their honesty, the anger, the resentment, the I put a roof over your head, clothed and fed you type of mamas. These mothers were not emotionally available, picking up and picking at their own wounds, fighting for their lives and maintaining the best way that they knew how. But little girls who knew nothing about their past grew up feeling lonely, unloved, and isolated, leaving them to learn nothing from unavailable women who could not understand their own faults. The generational warfare that was cycled into is now laid upon their laps with layers of things not asked for, but perhaps given, so that the paradigm is shifted and aligned where we as mothers can change their trajectory and be emotionally available. Let's change these generational traumas.
If you have to cut your mom off, cut her off. Sometimes your mom is jealous of you, and as much as she does not want to admit it, and she probably never will, you can sense it. Like, your intentions with her are so pure, but she always thinks of you in a negative light. Like, when it comes to you, it's always something negative that she has to say about you, never what you intend to be to her, which is a good person. You always twist it to make it like you're this negative person. Or she's always complaining. She doesn't want you to have fun if she is not having fun. It's like your competition to her. It's like she can't process the fact that she's getting older and you are growing into a woman. And you probably have more confidence than she did at that age. You want to make her proud and you never can. Nothing you ever do is good enough for her. This will stunt your growth. This will stunt your confidence. This will make you think less of yourself because your mom, the person that birthed you, thinks less of you. Cut her off.
A lot of people don't want you to change because they want to continue to milk you for the resources that you have to offer this world so that you'll never grow beyond them. When I was 17, my mother literally cursed me out for applying to out-of-state schools. Me going to college was your idea? Why are you mad that I don't want to stay in Baltimore? Then a few years later, when I got one of my college refund checks and put it towards my college textbooks and equipment for college, she then tried to guilt trip me and was like, you didn't give me any of that money. Not a tear fell. And I was just looking at this woman like, so you're mad that I'm investing in the education that you told me to get and not your pockets. I'm confused. And it wasn't like she was broke. You work for the state and your husband worked for the state. What you need money from me for? During college was when I had finally started losing weight. I was a very obese child. I was like 265 pounds. I didn't hit 5'11" until 11th grade. So like body just wasn't sitting proportionally. And body weight wasn't. And I took the initiative to go running 2 hours a day. And she never had anything positive to say. You look sick. Yes, sick of being here with you, which is why I go exercise, go to work, and go to college. And the reason why it was necessary for me to end all communication with her is because that relationship is what propelled me into lots of unhealthy situations with other people that acted just like her. And the longer I kept indulging in a relationship with her in my life, the more people like her that I would attract that would do the exact same thing. So yeah, growth really does sometimes require you to cut off your entire family, because what are you doing for me? Nothing but holding me back and telling everybody, oh, we got a perfect relationship. I talked to him the other day. Girl, we don't talk. I don't talk to that lady. I don't know her. She don't even want to know her. But I know me.
Now let's dive into this letter. She entitles the letter, Crazy Ass Mother. Okay? My mother is the most selfish, stingy, uncaring, toxic person I ever met in my entire life. She has never, ever done a damn thing for me since I was probably 8 years old. I have been working nonstop since I was 10 years old, and when I started earning money, she never did anything for me. I am now 60. She is 88. My mother and I don't have any type of relationship whatsoever. However, I always take over money to her for birthdays and major holidays. But she literally never ever talks to me. Even when I am at her home, she doesn't talk and seems to have a disdain toward me. She never talks to me over the phone, never invites me over for dinner, never goes out to dinner with me when I invite her, never calls me, and she hasn't done anything ever as long as I have lived. With the freeze across the country, my property suffered frozen and broken water pipes. It was really catastrophic. I know it was, because last winter the same thing happened to me. A water pipe burst and the whole downstairs flooded. So I understand how it can be quite devastating when this happens. I filed an insurance claim, and I have a large property with a nice amount of insurance on it. My insurance company approved me for a $10,000 a month housing budget. And I remembered that my mom has an empty apartment at her residence. And I was thinking I could rent out her apartment and pay her for 6 months of rent in cash up front. Rents in her area is $800 to $1,500 per month, and I was willing to pay her $1,500 per month and 6 months up front in cash. Oh my goodness, that was a good deal. That was a real good deal. I called my mother and told her about what happened to my home and asked her if she would be willing to allow me to rent out her empty apartment unit. She said no. She not only said no, but she said, I don't want you in my home, and you can't live in my home. Wow. I began to question her as to why she's so selfish and why doesn't she like me? And what is wrong? Why does she take my money when I give her financial gifts, yet she doesn't like me? She just slammed the phone in my face. I know you always say that certain things are karma, but in this case, I literally have never done anything to this woman. No, I don't think this is your karma because your mother is treating you this way. She's toxic, and every time you go around her, you get doused with her toxic behavior. But it's not your karma, you see, because you actually could stay away from her and avoid this toxicity. It's your free will to keep trying to deal with her. With her being your mother, I can understand that. But she's toxic. Okay? I literally have never done anything to this woman. She has told me my entire life that I am not her daughter, and she treats me this way too. She is extremely mean to me and just evil. My sisters are very toxic too, and one of them lives with my mother, and the other is always over there. But when I come around, they treat me like SHIT. I am literally the only one in the entire family that is successful. They are all sick and on public aid and disability and takes lots and lots of medication. I don't want to have anything to do with them and blocked all of them. Well, this is your family. I can understand. You see, it's a tough situation, but you have to guard yourself. You have to guard your own energy. So don't be around them as much. Don't be around them. You know, your mom's 88. So, you know, she may not be around long. So if I were you, I would limit my visits all the way down to, you know, maybe a special occasion you see her or something like that. I actually hate this woman who gave birth to me, and I just decided to block her. She has mistreated me my entire life, and I just don't want anything to do with her. I don't know what her issue is with me. I am never, ever going to give her any further financial gifts, and I will never, ever call her again. I don't even want to go to her funeral when the time comes. Jesus said, "Let the dead bury their dead." And that's exactly what needs to happen to her. She tells my cousin that she doesn't know how to contact me and has no idea where I live. And that is all a lie. Well, she doesn't want to get in contact with you. So if I were you, I would leave it alone. If this is her decision, I would leave it alone. She knows exactly where I live, and I have owned the same home for almost 30 years. Yeah, she knows where you live, but maybe you're right. Maybe she doesn't like you. Okay? I don't need to move in with my mother. I had only hoped to move in to try to have a relationship with her. I actually made reservations to stay at a really nice corporate housing unit, and I was trying to support her financially by giving her an additional $1,500 per month in case for any expenses that she may have by using her empty apartment unit, and at the same time bonding with her. Okay, I understand. Well, that was very nice of you to think about renting that empty apartment, giving your mother an income, and bonding with her at the same time. I understand. That was a wonderful and thoughtful idea. She doesn't want to have anything to do with me, and I am okay with this. I am considering sending her a letter and all of my siblings, telling them not to contact me for anything else. I have paid for family members' funerals out of pocket and cash because none of them have money. I have a great income from my business, and I am doing extremely well financially and not willing to give any of them another red cent. To hell with all of them. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can understand how you feel about this. And it is your right not to help them financially anymore. However, I don't think it's necessary for you to send this letter. Whatever you decide to do with this, you do it. but do it because it brings you peace, not to try to throw a stone back at them. Don't do that, because now you're talking about karma. If you throw that stone is going to come back and hit you in the head. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't send a letter, but if you decide you want to cut them off, just do it. Don't call them anymore. You understand? Just be out of their lives. Okay? And if they come to you and ask you for financial help, then it's really up to you whether you want to help them or not. That's your free will to do it. There's no obligation to do it. But don't send a letter. Don't do that. You see, you're just doing that because you think it'll make you feel better to just let them know that you're not going to help them anymore. No, don't do it. Let it go. Okay? Would it be okay sending them all a letter and not contact me any further? No. Don't send a letter. No. I don't want to even be notified of family deaths, and I don't want them asking me for anything. I am going to change my number soon, and I don't want them calling my home either under any circumstances whatsoever. Okay, now let's look at this. And let's look at why you are doing this. Okay? Be careful, because you don't want to be bitter. You still want to be on the positive end. You still want to be happy. You still want your abundance to flow. You still want your life to be pleasant and abundant. Which means that do not carry this bitterness, because this is low vibration. This is low vibrational. For you to feel some kind of way about them, you got to let it go. You got to forget it. Just go on with your life. Like whatever they're doing in their lives is them. You separate yourself and go on with your life. You see? But don't do things out of anger. That's low vibrational. Don't do things because you feel some kind of way about them. You see, it's all stemming from your mother. Your mother is toxic. All right? But don't allow her toxicity to ruin your life. And if you are bitter because of it, then it's affecting your life. You got to let it go. You got to forgive it. You got to forgive your mother. She only did what she had inside of her. I don't know how your mother grew up, or how her parents treated her, or whatever, but she's only giving you what she's got. It's quite possible that her parents treated her the way that she's treating you. She learned it from somewhere, but don't you carry it. Your siblings may have learned that toxicity from your mother, and they may carry it on in their lives, but that doesn't mean that you have to. Don't be bitter against your siblings or your mother. Forgive it and let it go. Don't send out any letters to anybody. Not at all. Now, if they call you up, then you can communicate with them as you will, but not out of bitterness. Conversate with them with an understanding heart. Okay? You don't want to engage in their toxic ways, but you want to show love. You see? You want to show them a different way to be by just being that. But if you are acting just like them, they see the same thing. You see? There's no healing in it. Concentrate on your own joy. All right? And do things that make you happy. And your life will always flourish if you do that. Now, those of you who grew up with a toxic mother, and many of us have grown up with a toxic mother, that doesn't mean, now I realize that your mother is your role model. Your mother, you see? But if you have come to the realization that your mother is toxic, do not embrace those toxic ways. Embrace positivity. Embrace joy. Embrace love. And remember, the way that you feel about yourself is going to create your reality. All right? The way that you feel about yourself. Now, if you continue to involve yourself with toxic people, then that's going to be your reality. It's going to be toxic because with your free will, you've decided to engage with these people. But if you walk away from toxicity and work on yourself to raise your vibration, your reality will flourish. This is what I need for you to understand. Love yourself, people, and guard yourself. Even if it's your mother, you may need to put some distance between you and your mother while you are healing and raising your vibration and living a good life. I hope you understand this message, and I really hope that it helps someone. Now it's time for today's affirmation. And we do these affirmations to help with your spiritual growth. These affirmations change the way that you think about yourself. And here it is. I look for things to be thankful for. All right? I look for things to be thankful for. Turn away from toxicity and look for things that you can appreciate with gratitude. I have a perpetual attitude of gratitude. I am content to be who and what I am. I look for things to be thankful for. People, let this affirmation go deep into your spirit and be a blessing to you today. Now, those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here's the link. Send your questions to Miss Faye's World, YT, at hotmail.com. That's Miss Faye's World, YT, at hotmail.com. Try to keep your letters to one page. Just summarize your situation and ask the question. And if you prefer that I answer your question privately through the email, just put it at the very top of your letter, and I will comply. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.